Hello, I am Lincoln. Here we are again, Tournament of Hyrule. This time it's the Zelda one I've been talking about doing for a long time now, so let's do it. I actually had a lot of these so far done as a batch. I started to work on a lot of them at the same time, and just slowly worked on them from there on, because I didn't want to just flood you guys with Tournament of Hyrule. But after the first one, I knew that I wanted to do, all the Zelda characters, all major ones anyways. So all of them since then, besides the April Fool's Mailman one, had started production at the same time, and then slowly worked on from then on. This is the first one that hasn't been done in that batch, so expect the editing to be a little different. Zelda 1 Princess Zelda is the most basic damsel in distress character ever, and I'm basically going to count the one from Zelda 2 as the same person, because they might as well be. Okay, while A Link to the Past Zelda does have powers, she's still mostly just a damsel in distress, and while she isn't damsel in distress for most of the game, that's only because there's other equally powerful ones that you save throughout the rest of the game. Now time for the strongest Zelda yet. Wow, we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Okay, she's strong comparatively to a lot of the lower CDI game characters. And guess what? That's not her only CDI game appearances. She had her own other CDI game, Zelda's Adventure. Unfortunately, any skills she must have learned during Zelda's Adventure must have been forgotten while waiting for the loading screen to end between areas. Okay, now Ocarina of Time Zelda has gotten me conflicted, because on one end, she is incredibly powerful, can use the goddess's power at her will, and is familiar with ancient Sheikah ninja techniques. On the other hand, it was her idiocy that made the entire events of Ocarina of Time happen, and she's really not smart when it comes to thinking things out. But does that really matter in a fight? It depends. I'm putting her in the middle. Tetra is straight up a pirate, so obviously she'll be very experienced in combat. One of the few Zeldas that normally carry swords around. Sometimes I like to think just how much better Wind Waker could have been if you could have kept her as an ally throughout the game, rather than getting her imprisoned towards the middle. That was almost equally as dumb as the way they just made her transform into a generic looking Zelda towards the halfway point. It's like the developers were just like, they probably wouldn't be able to understand that this is Zelda unless we made her white. Speaking of Tetra but white, Zelda from Minish Cap is literally just that. Tetra's Zelda form from Wind Waker, just without any of the combat experience. And she's a statue most of the game, so it doesn't really matter. To my knowledge, Twilight Princess is the only game where Zelda is one of the final bosses. She's absent for most of the game. That boss shows her potential to be a strong fighter, so I suppose she would be. And then there's Spirit Tracks. She's dead. But that gives her potential to take over giant phantom mechs. She could take over the bodies of many of the enemies on this list. Skyward Sword Zelda has the closest connection to Hylia out of all of them, but she spent most of the game missing, and then gave a little speech and then went to sleep, and she slept for the second half of the game. But she is, to my knowledge, the only Zelda that knows that she is a reincarnate of the goddess, and she knows that she has the powers to do the stuff that the goddess could. A Link Between Worlds Zelda once again spends most of the game not doing anything, but that game also has Princess Hilda, which is basically Zelda, but she's like a really cool villain character. And while, much like Ocarina of Time Zelda, she is a very foolish character, her being the opposite counterpart to Zelda, who is Wisdom, she generally speaking has a lot more experience than A Link Between Worlds Zelda. Hyrule Warriors has Zelda if she was a knight, which is also really cool, because that's Zelda with all the aspects of Zelda, like the goddess powers and stuff. But then she can also do a lot of the things that Link can do, so that's pretty neat. Time for Crypt Zelda. She is essentially the same as Crypt Link, only being able to move with the music, but she has less convenient attacks. Echoes of Wisdom Zelda is obviously going to be pretty high up. Not only did she defeat Noel, but she also has the power to summon anything that she's defeated. Oh no! It's gonna be another one of those CDI Ganon things, isn't it? No, I really don't care that much. I don't care. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna make a whole section for Echoes. She's gonna go right above Noel. Okay, this is the reason why I wanted to do this in the first place. She is so incredibly strong. Breath of the Wild Zelda could not only kill everyone on the list, she could kill all of them at once, within 5 seconds. All she has to do is one of her magical light time glow destruction ball things, and there you go, everyone is gone. Her powers got Ganon so upset he literally just decided that he never wanted to reincarnate again, because it would mean that he might have to deal with someone like her again. I think that just goes to show how strong she is. Now, I've been doing these discussions since late last year, and I've been having a lot of fun with it, finding out how powerful each Zelda character is. However, we've officially reached the point where, unless a future project reveals someone more powerful, the winner is staying the same forever. There is no Zelda character left to be added that could win now. So, while I will be doing more of these in the near future, the competition is essentially over. The true champion is Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Zelda.